Bentley and Devin are building a multi-million-dollar home, and now he's got to design every single room with jaw-dropping features that will wow the judges. The parade of homes is just weeks away, but right now, the house is still an empty shell. Bentley has to make and install hundreds of design choices, from tile to paint to custom-built features that all work together in one cohesive design. A single mistake could shatter their chances of winning the award. But some of the items going into this home are so unique that even their most veteran contractors have never installed them, including a showpiece Bentley came up with that has never even been built before. So if you've ever wondered what it takes to design a custom high-end parade home, this is the part no one shows you.
Right now, they're wrapping the exterior with a moisture barrier. They're going to staple this on, and then that will make it so the mortar sticks better for the brick that we have. You can see the metal mesh is different for the brick than the stucco. So the bottom part is going to be brick, and the top part is stucco. So they're two different types of metal mesh.
Prepare yourself, you know it's a must. Gonna have a friend in Jesus.
In real estate, one of the most important factors for appraised value is your curb appeal. And we're gonna make this thing shine. All the windows here will have black trim. We're actually gonna do black garage door with huge windows that have frosted. It's gonna look really modern. The thing that's gonna cover most of this front exterior is going to be brick. Now we've chosen this worn looking brick over a clean looking brick we were debating between because this leans more French modern in our opinion. So it's gonna go perfect and we gotta go install that right now.
On paper, Bentley loved the idea of rough brick, but now it's time to actually install it on the house, and suddenly his design choices are becoming very real and very permanent.
This is one of my top 3 favorite things of the house. This brick is gonna look incredible. It is something I haven't seen in any of the homes down here. Now I could really figure out if I screwed up or not.
These aren't traditional bricks. They don't hold up the house. They don't sit on a ledge. They're glued to the sheathing one by one, just like tile. Every line must be straight. Every corner has to wrap cleanly. If a single row drifts even slightly, it can throw off the entire wall. To elevate the design even further, Bentley added limestone headers, thick stone slabs above each window, and garage opening. It's one of the most distinctive moments on the entire home. And once it's up, there's no going back.
You keep me wrapped around your finger, wrapped around your finger. I was caught up in your orbit, spinning like a bullet. I was wrapped around your finger, wrapped around your finger. Then I shot back down to earth. I can call you right now, I'm drinking, and I know you say what I'm thinking. My whole life I was drawn to the deep end. Sinking. Why do I tell myself that I do the best I can? I know damn well that you couldn't give a damn. 10 big cuties that think I'm the man, but if you come around, I'll be eating out your hand. Keep me wrapped around your finger, wrapped around your finger. I was caught up in your orbit, spinning like a bullet. I was wrapped around your finger, wrapped around your finger. Shot back down to earth. I keep wondering who's the one replacing
Drywall is hung. Now we just are putting corner bead in, which you see this right here has a corner bead. And we will then cover all the screw holes, tape all the lines, and we will start texturing.
If you've ever walked into a new high-end home and thought, why do the walls look so clean? It might be because they did this. It's called Level 5 drywall, and it's one of the smoothest, most high-end wall finishes you can get. No bumps, no texture, just a perfectly flat surface from floor to ceiling. Bentley and Devin have never tried Level 5 before this house. But for this project, they decided to go all in. First, the seams between the drywall sheets are covered with paper tape. That tape is pressed into a layer of joint compound, also called mud. It's a thick gray paste that hardens as it dries. Once the tape is in, more mud is smoothed over the top with a wide taping knife until the seam disappears. Then they go after the screw holes, filling each one by hand, waiting for it to dry, then doing it again to level it off. That's the basic part. But Level 5 doesn't stop there. Instead of adding texture, they roll mud over the entire wall, just like paint. This is called a skim coat, and it covers the full surface to erase any difference between sheets, seams, or patches. On stilts, the crew uses giant trowels, flat blades almost 2 feet wide, to smooth the mud out before it dries. The idea is to make the whole wall one continuous surface. Once it dries, they start sanding, using long-handled tools called pole sanders to knock down any bumps or ridges. Even the corner beads, metal strips that protect the corners, get skimmed and sanded to feel invisible. Finally, they spray a light coat of primer over the whole thing. Not to finish it, but to check their work. Primer makes shadows easier to spot. If there's a dent or a ripple, or even the tiniest wave, the crew circles back and sands again. It's a long, slow, messy process, and it's definitely not cheap. But you have to admit, it makes for one stunning finish on the barrel vault.
We're finally done with framing and structural parts of this house. It is time to dive into design. Kind of a funny story of how this came to be. My wife was actually in labor, and I decided to take that time, grab an iPad, and think about all the homes I've designed in the past, the mistakes I've made, and try to figure out how to design the perfect house. Luckily on this house, because it was in a parade, I did have help with the designer. Let me show you what we decided. What I've landed on is a French modern house that's gonna have a Rapunzel balcony, groin vault, barrel vault. You got this white oak flooring. It really pairs well, you can see, like with the honey bronze that we've picked. White oak cabinets, white oak accent, white oak railing. All the choices that I want, it pairs well with. I was actually married underneath a white oak tree. So that is honestly why this house is full of white oak. The only fortunate thing about that is white oak is one of the most expensive woods that I could put in. But hey, these are actually gonna be the exterior doorknobs. I love this spoke here. And then the interior knobs, we have what I call the Reese's Peanut Butter Cup handle. It's got a nice texture to it. So the scallops that you see here, we're actually going to do more scallops in the house, but in different materials. So you see here the white oak. This is a 3-inch scallop that's gonna be an accent wall. We're actually gonna take a countertop and we're gonna scallop that as well. This is one of the coolest tiles I found. We're gonna put that in the mother-in-law master bathroom. This kitchen is gonna have some of the nicest beams. It's gonna be radius. And we're gonna light the inside up and make it glow with a chandelier hanging underneath. I've never seen anything like it. It's extremely important that all these details come together, because not only are we trying to sell this house, but we are trying to win the parade of homes. That would mean so much to me. I mean, I'd be going against some of the best builders in Utah. Some of them have 20 years on me. Being a younger builder, there's like a barrier, where, they're worried if you can actually do the job. But this would show that we can pull it off. We can compete with all the big dogs, and it really builds the trust that we can take on any project. To win Judge's Choice in the Parade of Homes, we got to do something original. And this is actually something I don't think anyone has seen in the entire world. And it's really risky. So you've probably heard of river epoxy tables. I want to do river epoxy beams and then put them in the primary bedroom, which is a focal point in the house. And you don't want to screw that up. Not to mention, Epoxy resin is extremely expensive. We're talking $100 a gallon, and we're gonna be using a lot of gallons to be able to pull this off. This is make or break, but I think it's a challenge worth the undertaking. It is something that is going to make this home extremely special. As you can see, I have made a lot of choices, but if you look behind me there, that's my mind map. That's a lot of things that I still have to figure out. I really just got to get my boots to the ground and go get those items done.
Hello.
Hey, how's it going?
Hi, Bentley. Good. How are you?
Doing good. I have a crazy idea I got to run by you.
Okay.
I'm thinking about doing river epoxy beams in the primary bedroom. What do you think?
That sounds interesting. Can you explain more?
Well, have you ever seen like a river epoxy table?
Yes, I have, and they're beautiful.
Well, I think it might look beautiful putting it on the ceiling.
Huh. You're sure that wouldn't look tacky? I've never heard of that before.
I don't know for sure. It might. It is a risk, but I also think it could be one of a kind, and it might even set us apart from other builders in the parade.
Okay, I can see that. Yeah, I'd probably want to look into it a little bit more before I could give a clear yes on what it would actually look like.
Well, yeah, I'll keep thinking about it. I mean, I got to think about the other side if we don't want to screw this up, but I think I might go for it, but I'll let you know.
Okay, yeah, let me know.
Okay, hey, see ya.
See ya.
I've been thinking about it, after that phone call I had with the designer, and she doesn't really care for the beam, the epoxy beam. She might think it could look tacky, and she's never seen it before. Even my dad has said I should play it safe. I've had a couple other people. I just believe in it too much. I think it's going to be one of a kind, first, maybe even the entire world. And I think it's worth the risk. I think it could be the thing that, puts us over the edge to actually winning Judge's Choice, because we were willing to do things that, is not normal, that's super custom. I'm gonna go ahead anyways, get this white oak in the back of my truck, take it to the shop, and let's get these beams rolling.
With the decision made, Bentley gets to work. It all starts with a pair of white oak boards, cut to length. These will form the face of the beam, the part you actually see once it's installed. They sketch a winding river-like curve down the center. Then the crew takes a saw and carefully cuts along that curve, splitting the panel into two pieces. Once separated, the boards leave a 4-inch wide gap, the future path of the epoxy. Now they need a mold. They start with raw particle board and cover every surface in tuck tape, a glossy barrier that keeps the epoxy from bonding to the mold. The taped pieces are nailed and screwed together to form a rectangular box, sized perfectly for the finished beam. But epoxy will find any weakness, so they go back and seal every joint and corner with silicone to stop leaks before they happen. Once the mold is sealed, the oak boards are placed inside, spaced precisely, edge to edge, and clamped down tightly to hold their shape. With one beam prepped, the crew has 4 more to go. Then comes the most crucial step, pouring the epoxy.
We gotta go over the butler's pantry. Right here is going to be the covered deck, so you can literally open the door, grab your drinks. Also, we're actually gonna put the tile, as this accent wall here surrounding this window that has a crazy view of the valley. This chandelier here, it's one of my favorite ones, actually has leather straps. Right here is actually a hidden pantry door. There's actually a Costco door in the pantry, which is awesome. So then you could throw your groceries in from the garage into the pantry without having to walk all the way through the house. There's just a lot of things that we try to think about, more than just design. We want to have nice flow throughout this house. You can see I got the tile for this room pretty much figured out. Now I got to go figure out tile for the laundry room and some other spaces. So I got to go to the showroom again. But hey, we're making some progress here. Today I'm here at the tile store. I got a lot of things to look at. I have to try finding the Rapunzel balcony tile. I also got to see what the tile that the designer picked to make sure it works. And while I'm here, I got to make sure I don't get tempted to look at things that aren't necessarily French modern, because there's so many choices. I might find something that's a good looking tile, but it doesn't go with the theme of the house, and we got to make sure that we stay consistent. And that's how we're going to be able to pull off this parade home. Well, we might as well start now and look at some of this tile. So on the master bathroom, we're doing 24 by 48, this large format tile, looks like marble. Normally, I kind of lean towards doing something busier on the floor, but on this one, we're gonna just do something a little bit more simple. Here's a good example, penny tile. Not do something that's so busy, just a little bit more plain, because we want people to be looking at the walls and then also looking out the window with that click glass. As you can see, we're scanning through all these options. There's a lot of nice ones. Look at this one. This one's pretty interesting. One of those things about tile, by itself, standing alone, it doesn't necessarily look that great. But if you lay this out, it'd be really cool. Not the one that she pointed me to though. If I look at here, I believe this is the one that she has pointed me to come look at and verify. It's one of those things where by itself actually, I don't know if I'd pick it for my own personal house, but then knowing this is French modern, it's gonna look incredible. So we're looking at 24 by 48 tiles, trying to find it for the Rapunzel balcony. I want to look like limestone. I just need something a little bit more simple, soft beige, that counts out the white, the gray, nothing shiny. We don't want to shiny because it's outside, so the watermarks, it's gonna get dirty easier. I feel like shiny is not what we're looking for. This one right here, I think this is the closest to the limestone that we already have, at least those headers, because we wanted to actually do the whole thing precast limestone, but it was so expensive. 3 times the cost is us just grabbing a porcelain tile. I think we're gonna grab one of these and bring it back. Oh, you gotta love the big tile. It is just so nice, but dang, it's a little heavy. I think that this is the one, but it's always important to grab a sample and bring it back to the space. Things look so much different with the lighting at these showrooms, so you gotta bring it back to your project and see what it looks like in the natural lighting that this is actually gonna sit.
The Rapunzel balcony, perched above the entry, is one of the first things you see, and it's what gives the home its strongest French character. It's topped with limestone look-alike porcelain tile, oversized, clean, and crisp. This isn't just a protective surface, it's a design statement. The crew preps and places each tile, spacing them with clips to keep the joints razor straight. Once set, they tape the grid tight, grout between the lines, and pull the tape to reveal a subtle, sculpted surface. There's no room for error. The edges have to be sharp. The pattern has to hold. Because from the street, this is what your eye locks onto first. It's not flashy, but it's clean, controlled, and perfectly in line with the rest of the elevation. And in a house like this, restraint is the luxury.
Now this is looking good. You like the tile?
I do like it.
I've been trying to call. I've been on my own for long enough. Maybe you can show me how to love. Maybe.
Mickey's got quite the challenge. You can see he's gonna be doing tile all day long today. He's gonna do a checkered board, but then put it on a diamond. Just turn it on its side instead of just having them laid like this. And then cabinets will be installed right after.
Since city's cold and empty, no one's around to judge me. I can see clearly when you're gone.
As a custom home builder and designer, I realized today AI is replacing me. It's quite the problem. So from here to here is 15 3/4, and on this wall it's 15 inches. So the problem is when I use this tile the way I was going to, there's gonna be a sliver on this side and not a sliver on that side. And it's gonna look terrible, so I have to figure out another idea. Well, AI, after taking a photo of this wall and then taking a photo of the tile, What happened is I just said, hey, let's put it in something different. It created this on a diamond pattern, which now the homeowner can see without my expert advice, and they can make a decision and just get rid of me. Okay, now we're talking about the suite primary bathroom. Primary bathroom is one of those places you got to make cozy, spend a little bit more time, more detail, and a little more money. So right here, you'll see a huge bathroom vanity. This is a nice tower too. This will be black ore, and then these actually here are open cubbies. This is a floating vanity with the sconces on the sides of the mirrors. I think that this looks a lot nicer than having a fixture above. I love having the sconces to the sides of the mirror. This is where you're spending some money. So this is like a $1,700 faucet that's gonna sit next to this freestanding tub, and it is going to be surrounded by this really nice tile. Now this tile is 24 by 48. It's not one of those 12 by 24s. This tile is huge. It's gonna be a pain for the tile to install it. We haven't even seen it in person. It's ordered. We're trusting the designer, Erica, that she's picked the right one. We are taking this same style here, this 3-inch scallop, and we're going to do a whole backsplash of this countertop. By hand, he's gonna have to do it literally with a tool. Probably take him a week, maybe 2 weeks, but he's gonna actually scallop this by grinding away each individual sections to get the 3-inch scallop look. It is gonna be incredible. Then we're gonna take that same design and we're gonna do a freestanding bench. So what that means is it's gonna be floating. It's not gonna butt into any walls, only one wall, which will be the back wall, and then it's gonna be lit up underneath. And then we're gonna curve it too, so it's gonna have some curve. It is gonna be very interesting. Hopefully he can pull it off. He'll probably never do another job for me after this one, because it's gonna take him a long time. Another luxury to this home is this tile here is gonna be heated. So it's gonna be a heated floor. We're gonna do that in a herringbone pattern. It's gonna look spectacular. The final piece to this luxury bathroom are 2 windows. We actually gave this primary bathroom the best views in the entire house, and we got 2 windows to match that. These things took 3 months to get. They're extremely expensive, $10,000. We don't have the time or money if these things break, and they're about to be installed. Hopefully it goes smoothly.
Lift up a little bit. Okay. You ready? Yeah. Oh my.
Okay, you're good. I bet you haven't seen windows like this before, at least in person. So these are smart glass. These are the most expensive windows we've ever installed, and you can see why. I mean, wow. So even though smart glass is the most expensive glass we can install, we definitely thought it was important because we have these huge windows that look out the valley. We want to be able to enjoy it, but we don't want to be showing our neighbors anything. So we have it where you can get in the tub, flip the switch, and then it goes clear. And then when you're about to get out of the tub, flip the switch and then it's frosted. That makes it so you can enjoy the views without your neighbors enjoying the views. So behind me, we're putting heated floors in this master, which is pretty exciting. We do that by putting this wire back and forth. Most people don't do this because that wire alone is over $1,000. What's interesting about this wire is you actually can't cut it. So you have to get the exact length you need, or you have to buy new wire or scrap the whole thing, because if you cut it, you're ruined.
When you're gone, I said, ooh, I'm blinded by the lights. No, I can't sleep until I feel your.
Right here, you got the temperature probe. This thing's going underneath as well, and this will make sure that the homeowner can set it to the exact temperature they want. The controller is going to place right here. We had to put a smurf through the wall to run the wires to control it. You don't just lay tile on top of this. He's actually going to get mortar. He's going to do a layer of mortar on top of the wire before he even starts laying the tile. So it's a multiple day process, which is also going to add costs and labor, but the end result is great. I mean, I hate cold tile. That's actually my least favorite part of tile, is the fact that it's cold, where this solves that issue. I know it's like first world problems, but hey, if you're building a $2 million house, there's certain things you're going to want in the house, and I think heated floors is one of them.
I said, ooh, I'm drowning in the night. Oh, but I'm like this, you're the one I just. I'm just coming back to let you know I can never say it on the phone. They'll never let you go this time. I said, ooh, I'm blinded by the lights. No, I can't sleep until I feel your touch. Hey, hey, I said, ooh, I'm blinded by the lights. No, I can't sleep until I feel your touch.
In the master bathroom, the walls and ceiling of the shower are being wrapped in massive porcelain slabs. The main challenge? Mitering the edges. Every slab has to be cut at a perfect 45-degree angle, so when two pieces meet in the corner, they fold together like a clean, seamless box. The miters have to match perfectly, with a grout joint so thin it practically disappears. It's a brutal mix of risk and craftsmanship, but when it's done right, the result is stunning. A clean, modern shower that feels carved from a single block of stone.
Only 9 days left we have to have this home finished, and we made a big mistake. This is not the tile that's supposed to go in this room, which is really unfortunate. So we have to rip this out, hurry and put the new tile in, and then we had to order more of this tile so it could actually go in the laundry room where it's supposed to go. Mickey, I can't believe you installed this on the wrong wall.
I know. I should have put attention on that.
Yeah, you should have, followed the work order that we didn't give you.
I'm still waiting for that, let me tell you. But I guess everything is going to go down now.
So yeah, he's gonna take this down. This is a situation where we're rushed. We didn't give him a work order on this particular tile, and it got installed wrong. This is actually supposed to go in the laundry room. It's one of those mistakes we made when we're just trying to rush the job, and we're gonna pay for it. So here we go.
Well, this is not gonna be, actually it's not the first time that I have to remove tile. As you know, people make accidents here and there. They can break a tile, and we have to do this over and over again. In the end, if we want a perfect job, that's what it will take.
Nobody likes to redo work. It is so much more painful. Even if they make more money by having to redo the work, the fact that you have to rip down something that you've already done is painful. So the money's not even worth it.
If we want something perfect and something the right way, this is what we have to do.
He's insisting that from now on we will do work orders for him.
There you go. So you can remember this.
Oh, that's too funny.
All right, job done.
Back at the shop, it's time for the moment that makes or breaks the entire idea, pouring the epoxy. They start by mixing two parts, resin and hardener. It has to be measured perfectly. Too much of one or the other, and the entire batch won't cure right. And it's not cheap. A single gallon costs over $100. Into the mixture, they add a pearlescent pigment. This is what gives the epoxy that elegant, dreamy tone Bentley's been imagining for weeks.
They say time heals all, but the pain runs way too deep. You lied to yourself so much that you started to believe that love doesn't last, 'cause it's all you've ever seen. Grab the matches, start a fire. Throw the memories in the flames, it's behind us. See the gold and the red new horizon.
Finally, the epoxy resin is poured into the mold.
Let it burn. So run for the hills, baby, don't look back when you leave. There's a train headed west, move along, you got somewhere to be. Watch your step, coming on for the life that you live. Break the rules, cross the line, make a mess. This could be the only chance that you get. Grab the matches, start a fire. Throw the memories in the flames, it's behind us. See the gold in the red, new horizons. Let it burn, let it burn. Back to base at 3 a.m. From town on one, she went on the run. Felt like the world came crashing down, dead broke, she ain't had a fun shit.
The resin has to fill the entire space all the way to the top. The team needs to mix some more epoxy to finish this beam and fill the others. But then,
Do we really not have any more Buddha?
I don't think so.
You gotta be kidding me, Garrett. I'm gonna beat that die.
they're short. Not on epoxy, but on pigment.
Tory White. Tory White. Come on, Garrett. Dude, I'm gonna be pissed if I was here all day Friday. We don't even have the color. Probably shouldn't say too much. Pop this off.
Oh gosh.
What?
Well, we're out of the pigment.
And that's a problem, because if the next batch doesn't match the first, the entire beam will be ruined. A jarring discoloration right in the middle of the focal point of the room. And now, Bentley has no choice but to wait for more pigment to arrive and hope the colors match.
Now it's time to talk about one of the most exciting areas in the house, which is the kitchen and living room. So one thing about this kitchen that we're really excited about is we're gonna get the cabinet company to do something that they've never done before. We got these 2 monster fridges, fridge freezer, and we're actually gonna have them arch the panels. It's gonna look incredible because this French house has arches everywhere. I mean, I think it's gonna be beautiful. We're thinking about doing a 48-inch range. You know, maybe we'll do a cafe white. I've always liked the cafe white. You have these 2 towers. In between them, we're gonna put these wall sconces. We're doing a built-in sink. In this built-in sink, we're gonna have a shelf, and what this is doing is you're gonna have a place to put, you know, a sponge. It's not gonna be on the counter, especially in an island. You don't wanna have this dirty sponge on top of your counter. You're gonna want it in the sink area. So all the dirty things are gonna stay in the sink. This is actually a 14-foot long island. So we're gonna do a microwave here since we have so much space. Up on the ceiling, we're doing white oak beams. We're gonna have a radius beam that goes above the dining table, which will then have this chandelier go in the middle of it. And this thing's gonna light up. It's gonna be really cool. So in the living room, we're doing a huge fireplace, and we're gonna actually have this scalloped white oak. It's to be 20 feet tall. I mean, massive accent wall. So I think everything you see here is definitely fitting in the, you know, French modern, but we just gotta make sure that we find a countertop that complements everything that you see. We're leaning towards Taj Mahal, but when you go to the slab yard, you gotta make sure that it isn't one of the dark ones. You know, make sure it's still that nice creamy beige. And if we find the right one, we're doing Taj Mahal, and I think that's gonna look incredible in a built-in sink. Now, Rift White Oak is the cabinet choice, definitely for French modern. So here at the cabinet shop, we've discussed we want to do the white oak. I have to decide. You can see there's a lot of different door styles here. And like shaker, that is not what we're going for. I feel like out of these ones, we're gonna go with the Mission. You can see here, it leans towards a little bit more modern, but definitely not so flat like the shaker one. This would be a nice one. Now that we have the door style picked, let's go pick some crown. When you look at these crowns, they have a lot of different options. You got 2-inch, 3-inch, and 5-inch. I definitely want to stay within the 5-inch, but when you come here to this one, this has too many details for the Mission. I think we're gonna have to do more like the shaker crown here, and then we're gonna add a 4-inch base. I think the 4-inch will make it more interesting and more high-end. One thing here, the display cabinets I really like is this thin black metal glass door. So you have this trim that's really thin, and we're gonna do this in the butler's pantry, but we're actually gonna have it where, you know, it's white oak. You can see inside all white oak, but then the cabinets to the left of it is actually be paint grade white, and it's gonna be a hidden pantry door. It's gonna be pretty sweet. You have these flat panel here, but what stands out is this nice reeded door. We're definitely gonna do some reeded doors in this parade home. One thing I love is this utensil drawer that they have in here. I think every home should have a utensil drawer. Now that we've finalized all those selections, Quality Craft is gonna build the cabinets and get them installed.
Coming out of my cage and I've been doing just fine. Gotta be down because I want it all. It started out with a kiss, how did it end up like this? It was only a kiss, it was only a kiss. Now I'm falling asleep and she's calling a cab while he's having a smoke and she's taking.
Cabinets are halfway installed. We're gonna have the beams that are gonna go here. Radius beam will go above the dining table. A lot going on. Probably have like 10 guys working here today.
Now let me go. And I just can't look, it's killing me. And taking control. Jealousy turning snakes into the sea, swimming through sick lullabies.
look how incredible this ceiling is. It's gonna be super nice. We're actually gonna paint it the same as the ceiling, so it's just like a subtle detail on the ceiling. We don't want to be overpowering because it is circles, but I think with it being subtle, it's gonna be really nice. We are behind schedule more than we thought. When we did the list, it was like 25 items that had to be done. Hardwood has to be done, all the showers have to be done, tile floor has to be done, the beams or the floating shelves have to be done, beams in the master, carpet. There's so many items, countertops. We are really tight on the schedule, so we'll see if we can make it. We're gonna try. I'm here at a big slab yard in Salt Lake City, which is Francini's. We got to pick the fireplace mantle, the surround, and that huge 14-foot island. You know, we have all that rift white oak in our kitchen, and we have to find a countertop that will blend and be perfect for everything that we're doing. Let's go check these out. I'm like a kid in a candy store looking at all these.
When I wake up, well, I know I'm gonna be the man who wakes up next to you.
This is one of those pieces where I really like it, but I wouldn't put in my house, but I can appreciate how unique this slab of granite is. Oh, now this one would be so cool in an office. Or look at this dark one. Oh man, I bet this is like a level 6. Tempest blue. Looks green to me, but Tempest blue. There's just too many to pick from. I don't know which one we're gonna pick. This is huge. My eyes keep getting drawn to these dark ones, but I know we're not gonna put a dark countertop in our parade room, at least in the kitchen. Ah, oh, sorry, I keep looking. One of my favorite things to do is actually go to slab yards. I love looking at these huge granite slab yards. When my wife and I first started dating, one of our first dates, I took her to a slab yard. I mean, I kind of had to do it for work, and I just brought her along to get a date done and work. But really, what's nice is like this is a quartzite cristallo. If you look at over here, this is actually a backlit, so it's a level 6. We won't be picking this out for the parade because it's a little expensive, but it is pretty cool. My wife might be jealous that I'm here looking at all these slabs without her. Like I said, I'm really drawn for the dark ones to be nice half bath, but really we're here to figure out something for the island. So after looking at all these slabs, as much as I'd like to do something so busy like this blue one, we're actually gonna land on Taj Mahal. Taj Mahal is the countertop that's gonna go really well with the rift white oak. We're gonna do it on the mantle. We're gonna have it like a 48-inch sink made out of it. It's gonna be, this is a 14-foot island that then has waterfalls. I mean, we're picking a lot of this and it's gotta be the right one. I mean, this is gonna be it. This is gonna win. We're gonna win the award just from this and the white oak and everything else we're doing, but we're gonna win.
Bentley's slab is loaded up and sent to the fabricators, where they cut it to size, shape the countertops, and even build a fully integrated sink from the same piece of quartzite. Then it's finally delivered to the job site and ready for one of the most dramatic installs in the house, the 14-foot island made from Taj Mahal quartzite. The island is so massive that it has to be made from 2 pieces. They don't even have slabs that large, so the crew has to join the 2 halves together with precision. First, they place the quartzite slabs on the island and slide them into place, carefully, because even the slightest chip could ruin the entire countertop. Then they bring out a set of seam setters, specialized tools that use suction and air pressure to lock onto each slab. A connected air compressor powers clamps that literally pull the 2 slabs together with hundreds of pounds of force, aligning them edge to edge. Once everything is tight, a color-matched epoxy is smoothed into the seams, filling any gaps and bonding the slabs permanently. To finish it off, they install the stunning waterfall sides. The final result? A clean, polished island with a built-in stone sink and a luxury look that anchors the entire kitchen.
So we did a whole room wall treatment with this. We did a nice arch with a quarter round. I think it looks really nice. It turned out great. I can't wait. Oh, actually, one other thing we're doing is we're gonna install the carpet, and then we're gonna have the sheetrocker come back and then have this go all the way to the carpet. So we're not gonna do baseboard here, and I think it's gonna look a lot nicer. This is another accent wall I really like in this parade home. The problem though, the painter's not gonna like this because he's gotta get in these little squares and he's gotta make it so the paint doesn't glob up in the back and has to be clean. So it's gonna be very time consuming, but when it's finished, it'll look beautiful. This is all new wood that we had to buy that we weren't planning on. We're letting it acclimate. What happened was over here on the stairs, it actually cupped. So you can see right here it cupped. So this has to be all ripped out, costs us thousands of dollars, but we just have to install it. It's gotta look right.
The new pigment has finally arrived at the shop. They mix it in and pour the second batch of epoxy. It's a perfect match. A glassy pearl river running through the beam, original, unforgettable, and seamless. Now Bentley has to act fast because the epoxy instantly starts hardening and he has one last detail he wants to add. Gold flakes, a luxury touch to tie into the rest of the home's palette. Bentley uses tweezers to carefully place the flakes down. But as they settle into the epoxy, something feels wrong. It doesn't look elegant. It looks messy, distracting. Bentley freezes. Did he just ruin all the work they've done?
I think the gold could be a really cool idea, but if it's backlit too much, I would be worried you're just gonna see the silhouette, so it's just gonna look like dots.
Another thing I'm afraid of is, you know, if it doesn't look like gold and it looks like pieces of the wood. Yeah. It's just like we're sloppy and got wood shavings everywhere, you know? And that would be terrible.
Yeah.
Luckily we're cutting some of this off, so even if, yeah, I'm gonna take those out. I'm just nervous. Just too much. It's a cool concept. Yeah, it would be too much money to risk though.
Bentley scrambles to scoop the flakes out, hoping to undo the damage before the resin cures. In the process, the surface begins to swirl. Soft marbled waves stir through the resin. And suddenly, something changes. The epoxy becomes clouded. Not only does it look better, it'll probably function better. The swirling clouds could help diffuse the light inside the beam, hiding the LED strips from view. Bentley makes another quick decision.
Okay.
He moves to swirl the rest of the beams to match, hoping to make it look intentional.
It's interesting how that... Put my initials in it.
The result is beautiful. But what about when it dries? Either way, it's too late to take it back now.
The beams are heading to the cabinet shop. They were actually too large for the shop sander, so we actually have to send them to the cabinet shop because they have massive sanders that could hopefully handle these large beams. I have to stay back because there's so many things to tackle on the job site, but I'm pretty sure the boys can get this done.
While Bentley stays behind, the beams hit the road. They're on their way to the cabinet shop, back to the same place that built the custom drawers and vanities just weeks earlier. But this time, it's not about cutting or shaping. It's about revealing. Each face is passed through an industrial sander, layer by layer, stripping away the extra epoxy until the river sits perfectly flush between the boards. The pouring process is messy, and epoxy overflows onto the faces of the boards, essential for creating the flush finish. But now, it's all got to be cleaned up. Even this step proves tricky. The beams are so oversized, they keep bogging down the machine, stopping mid-pass, grinding momentum to a halt. One more moment that tests the patience and persistence of the crew. And by now, they're ready for that. They start the machine back up and continue feeding the beams through again and again, as many times as it takes. And when the epoxy finally starts to give way, it reveals a smooth and striking contrast between epoxy and wood. Once this process is finished, they will finally be transported to the house, ready for installation. In the meantime, Bentley tackles a new challenge.
This is Skylar. He's going to be showing us appliances today. He's also a good cook, so we have a lot to learn from him. I was actually thinking about cafe appliances, like the matte white. We have a separate area where it has a sink, view out the valley, and almost be like dessert, milkshakes, protein shakes. You'd almost make that there in the butler's pantry. And I was thinking about having the drawer, dishwasher, drawer, freezer, and then you have a regular dishwasher out in the kitchen area.
Okay. Let's take a look over here. These are more of a convenience, being at waste and loading it, especially from the sink to here, because you're not having to bend down. So that's kind of the appeal. Now your bottom drawer, you're still gonna have to, you're still gonna have to bend down.
Do people appreciate this more, or have you had people complain, I can't put big pots and pans in it? Is there any downside to doing drawer dishwashers?
I would not do this polycarbonate plastic interior. I would get the stainless interior.
Does it help with it drying?
It does, because these use condensation drying.
Do you guys have the cafe?
I do have cafe,
okay.
but I don't have that on display.
Not display,
but I can show you the.
Can we go? You have matte white. Yeah, let's go look at matte white.
Yeah, absolutely.
You guys' showroom is awesome.
Thank you. Most of the stuff is live, so we've cooked on most everything here.
Oh, this is the one. Let's get this one here. I mean, do you have a lot of people like the cafe white?
Well, it's very unique, and if it's going to look great with the cabinets, it's the only thing out there that's going to do that. And you can choose 6 different finishes. So what you see back here is the bronze. So they got the gold brass, they got the black, they got stainless. But if you get the matte white, it will come standard with the bronze.
Let's just do the bronze, honestly.
Bronze?
Yeah,
Okay.
The bronze is fine. Do you think that would look good with white oak?
Yeah, no, that would look great with white oak. Do you guys want to cover the hood in cabinetry?
So
like
we're actually gonna do I want to do the plaster look.
Yeah, okay.
So,
and I have my favorite hood I'm going to show you live. So I'm a little biased towards it. It is a little more expensive, but I think it's worth it. So it's called Venta Hood. I'm going to turn this on for you. So I'm just going to go on. I'm just activating this guy. Level 2, just speeds it up. Level 3, now I've activated the second one. But we can still have a conversation. You
that's a lot quieter than the
and
one
then the
that I have.
frequency it gives off is a lot more pleasant to the ears, and I'm going to show you some other ones and you'll see the difference.
Oh, that's obnoxious compared to that one.
Right? Now this is the highest setting, but I also put that on the highest setting.
So the reason why I was going to do the big fridge with the wood panels is because I couldn't get the cafe, that matte white in that big fridge. So what brand would you suggest if I was going to do double door freezer?
So this is a 42 side-by-side, and they don't do the matte white.
Okay.
Just the stainless. But you could do a different brand and then match the cabinets. That's probably what I would do.
I think we should go with a freezer fridge freezer side-by-side that can have the panels, and then doing the rest cafe.
Yeah, so like example right behind us, open that guy.
Oh.
Excuse me. So these are 2 30-inch Sub-Zeros. Is this size good?
Yeah, that size is great.
Okay.
Perfect. Well, yeah, thanks for showing us all these appliances.
Yeah.
And we'll look, give me the quotes on the different options and we'll pick one.
Yeah, it's gonna be good.
How about that?
After weeks of uncertainty, detours, and redesigns, the epoxy beams have finally arrived. And now, it's time to find out if Bentley's gamble was worth it. The team assembles each beam piece by piece, 5 massive boxes, perfectly spaced, perfectly level, and running the full length of the master ceiling. An LED strip is run inside each fixture, along with a backup, because if the primary fails, there's no way to get back in to replace it. Everything will be permanently sealed. The epoxy river faces are carefully lifted into place and nailed to the boxes. Then each nail hole is filled and all the beams are sanded down to soften edges, hide joints, and smooth out every last detail. Finally comes the clear coat, brushed across the oak, sealing the grain and bringing out the soft depth of the finish. With the rest of the design wrapping up, Bentley finally has a moment to step in and see his creation. For weeks, this idea lived only in his imagination, a sketch, a concept, a risk. But now, it's real. 5 white oak beams stretch across the ceiling, glowing from within. A soft pearlescent river runs through each one, diffusing the warm white light and casting a gentle, even glow across the space. It doesn't shout for attention. It doesn't need to. The beams bring balance, warmth against clean lines, texture against scale, light against shadow. And just like that, the room becomes something more. Not just beautiful, but peaceful. And in that moment, Bentley knows. It all worked.
Those beams turned out way better than I expected. This is one of those moments where I really trusted my gut and it paid off. It makes you realize that design sometimes is about pushing limits and being creative and trying new things. The radius beam, the built-in sink, the floating bathroom bench. I mean, there are so many items in this house that the subcontractors had to work late nights, long weekends, and a lot of it was first time they might have done all those items. But that's what's gonna make this home special. All the hard work, really proud of the team and everybody that I work with. I shouldn't celebrate too soon because we really have only a couple days till judging and there's still some things that have to get done, crucial if we want to win Judge's Choice or even be ready for the parade. So we got one last push. We are under the gun on this house, so much pressure. We have to be done with this house tomorrow.
Utah's the best parade in the nation because we have the best builders in the nation. It's amazing how tight the voting is. The winner is